Hey, good morning. Is John there? Great. Hey, John. My name is Roland, and reason for the call today is I actually live here in the Asheville area, and I was calling because I'm looking to buy a house here. I was wondering if you maybe had one that you'd be interested in selling. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another freaking video. And today, we're here to talk about cold calling. I've made thousands of cold calls over the last 4 or 5 years, and I just want to talk about tips, the biggest lessons, 5 things that maybe you guys can implement if you're making cold calls, and maybe it'll help you with your confidence or to make calls better. So let's get into it. When you're having a conversation, there's always one person who's leading the conversation at any given time. Now, it could switch off, but there's always one person who's controlling and guiding and pushing that conversation where they want it to go. And so you need to be the person on the call controlling and leading the conversation, asking the questions, probing, guiding that conversation to where it needs to go. Because if you're not the one leading the conversation, then your prospect is, and that doesn't help you really get to the sale. That being said, that doesn't mean you do all the talking, because generally you want to be the one talking less. You ask questions and listen, get answers, get responses, and gather information on your prospect so you can see if you can help them solve their problem with your product. Leading the conversation, like I said, is probing, it's asking questions, it's guiding the conversation down the line or down the path that you want to follow to see if you're a good fit to work together. Number 2, you need to understand that the person on the other end of the call, they don't know you. And that's a good thing and a bad thing, but specifically, if they're having a bad day and they just lay into you, they don't know you. It's nothing personal. So let it go, move on. I don't take it personal. As soon as you get off that call, don't be afraid to hang up. There's no rules against hanging up in the middle of their sentence if they're not having it today. Feel free to hang up, move on, and get to that next call as fast as possible so you can put that behind you and get out of your head. Number 3, have the right script. And this is extremely important because you don't want to sound like you're reading from a script, which takes practice, but you don't want to just go in there blind. It's not a casual call. You're there calling for a purpose, and you need to make the most out of that call if you actually get someone on the phone to have a better chance of getting to the sale or the lead or the appointment or whatever it is that you're calling for, your desired outcome. And so you need to have your script down, but like I said, you don't want it to sound like a script. At the beginning of the video, you heard like my script that I've kind of slowly put together for calling people about houses. Is it perfect? No. Is it the best? No, but it gets me results. I recommend reading The Straight Line or the Way of the Wolf by Jordan Belfort. It's a book about his straight line sales system, and he really talks a lot about cold calling and putting together a script. And I really like the way that he talks about it in there and the way that script comes together. And so I would highly recommend you guys check out that book. Or listen to some of his podcasts or something about his cold calling scripts and stuff like that, because I think it's you want to get to the point, but you want to also be who you are, and you don't want to sound uncredible, or you don't want to sound like you're trying to sell them something either. So it's a good way to call, be like a friend, but then also be non-threatening as well. And so I recommend that you guys work together, put out a script. And when you first start calling, you're going to stick with the script, and you're going to sound like you're calling from a script, and you just got to go through those growing pains. Number 4, use a dialer system. I've made plenty of calls where I just had my phone and I was typing in numbers, and I had AirPods in and just dialing, hang up, dial, hang up, dial another phone number. That's not the way to do it. There's plenty of dialer systems out there. You can dial like 3 numbers at once. So the one I was used, it's called Mojo Dialer or something like that. And it dials 3 phone numbers at once, and you can call like 100 numbers an hour. It's great. Use a dialer system. You get more calls in, more prospects, more sales. Use a dialer system. Number 5, control your tonality. Learn to use your tonality. This kind of goes back to having a script where you don't want to be threatening on the phone. You don't want to sound salesy. You want to be a friend. You want to be like a nice, friendly person to talk to. Like, nobody wants to talk to somebody who sounds like they're in a pissy mood. So you want to call and be like, yeah.
Is John there?
You don't want to sound like that. You want to sound like a friend. Learn to use your tonality, because you can influence people, especially over the phone where you can't read body language. All you're relying on is someone's tone. And you can hear other people's tone, and the other side of the conversation and understand how they're reacting to what you're saying. So learn to control your tonality. This is another great, relays back to Jordan Belfort's book, The Way of the Wolf. Lastly, we get to number 6. Number 6 is perhaps the most important one, is that you need to remember that you're calling to solve people's problems. You're not calling to intrude on their day. You're not calling to stick them with a sale and just grab their money. You're calling, you should be calling because you're trying to help them. You're trying to see if your product or your solution can solve their problem. And so you need to keep that in mind. It kind of even goes back to the second one, which is, understand that they don't know you. Like you're calling, you're just out, you're calling, you're looking for people's problems and you're just trying to help people solve their problems. You're not, targeting people or anything like that. You should be calling to try and help. And that is my 6 tips or lessons that I've learned over the past few years from making thousands of cold calls. I don't think that there's really another way to build your confidence like cold calling does. It's not an easy thing to do, and it's not an easy thing to be good at. So guys, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, give it a thumbs down, leave a comment, let me know your biggest lesson from cold calling, or some funny time that somebody chewed you out, or a good story from when you were making cold calls. I'd love to see that. And if you want to see more videos like this or real estate stories, which we'll hopefully have coming more soon, subscribe to the channel. I'd love to keep you guys around and keep serving you guys what I hope to be good content. Thanks a lot for checking the video out. Appreciate it. See you on the next one.